John Fitzgerald Kennedy was born on May 29, 1917, in Brookline, Massachusetts. He was the second son of Rose and Joseph Kennedy, a prominent Irish Catholic family. Kennedy's upbringing was privileged. He attended elite schools, including Harvard University. After graduating, he joined the Navy during World War II. His wartime experiences, particularly the sinking of his PT boat and his heroic rescue of his crew, shaped his character. After the war, Kennedy entered politics. His father's connections and wealth provided a significant boost to his early political career. He served in the House of Representatives from 1947 to 1953. In 1952, he was elected to the Senate, representing Massachusetts. Kennedy's charisma and charm quickly made him a rising star in the Democratic Party. He cultivated a public image of youth, vigor, and intelligence. During his time in Congress, he focused on issues such as labor rights and Cold War policy. He married Jacqueline Bouvier in 1953, further enhancing his public image. Kennedy's ambition led him to seek the presidency. He announced his candidacy in 1960. His youthful energy and optimistic vision resonated with many Americans. The 1960 presidential election pitted John F. Kennedy against the incumbent Vice President, Richard Nixon. The election was one of the closest in American history. Television played a crucial role, with the Kennedy-Nixon debates captivating the nation. Kennedy's charisma and good looks shone through on television. In contrast, Nixon appeared pale and uncomfortable. The debates, particularly the first one, are widely credited with swaying undecided voters towards Kennedy. He narrowly defeated Nixon, capturing the White House for the Democrats. Kennedy's victory ushered in a new era in American politics. At 43, he became the youngest elected president in U.S. history. His Catholicism was also a significant factor, making him the first and, to date, only Catholic president. John F. Kennedy's presidency, though tragically cut short, was a time of significant change and challenge. He confronted Cold War tensions, championed civil rights, and inspired Americans with his vision of a new frontier. One of his first acts was establishing the Peace Corps. This program sent young Americans abroad to assist developing nations, promoting peace and understanding. The Cold War loomed large during Kennedy's presidency. He faced off against Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev in a series of high-stakes confrontations. The Bay of Pigs invasion in 1961, a failed attempt to overthrow Fidel Castro's regime in Cuba, was an early foreign policy setback. However, Kennedy's handling of the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962, which brought the world to the brink of nuclear war, is widely regarded as a triumph of diplomacy and restraint. Domestically, Kennedy faced growing pressure to address racial segregation and discrimination. He supported the civil rights movement and sent federal troops to ensure the integration of the University of Alabama. Kennedy also pushed for ambitious social programs, including a space program aimed at landing a man on the moon before the end of the decade. His famous words, "We choose to go to the moon in this decade, and do the other things, not because they are easy but because they are hard," captured the spirit of his presidency. On November 22, 1963, tragedy struck in Dallas, Texas. While riding in a motorcade with his wife Jacqueline and Governor John Connally of Texas, President Kennedy was fatally shot. The assassination sent shockwaves throughout the nation and the world. Lee Harvey Oswald, a former Marine with alleged ties to the Soviet Union, was arrested for the murder. However, he was shot and killed by Jack Ruby, a Dallas nightclub owner, 2 days later. The circumstances surrounding Kennedy's assassination remain a subject of debate and conspiracy theories to this day. Kennedy's funeral was a somber affair, attended by dignitaries from around the world. Millions mourned the loss of their young president, whose life and promise had been cut tragically short. His legacy continues to inspire generations of Americans and people worldwide. He is remembered for his charisma, his leadership during a tumultuous time, and his vision of a more just and peaceful world.